I'm Damian Sogren and welcome to Caribbean America. In honor of Caribbean American Heritage Month, it's my pleasure to highlight some Caribbean American movers and shakers who have contributed and continue to contribute to the overall community and culture. Kicking things off, we start with superstar publicist Ronnie Tomlinson, who provides media relations and marketing services for top Caribbean entertainers and brands in the US market. She shares on how her passion for music and her Caribbean culture led her on the unlikely path of making major waves in the PR world.
So never thought of being a publicist. That wasn't the dream. But I always had a passion for music, always had a passion, and always said to myself, you know what, I don't want to stand on any line to get into a concert, but I want to be that person in the concert. So keeping events and being laid off from Goldman Sachs kind of steered me into this direction where, you know, keeping events and then realizing that the artists in the Caribbean, when I was doing my event, needed some sort of representation outside of the island. And that just kind of happened.
From the initial stages of her PR work to present times, Ronnie has manifested greatness for her clients and for herself and has experienced some memorable career highlights.
My biggest highlight, I would have to say, is being able to execute a tour, right? So I've executed a tour of over 70 cities for an artist by the name of Ioctane years ago. And then doing the same for another artist by the name of Jamil. Or, you know, so just being able to have them travel to so many countries, so many islands, all over the world is something that I think is one of, you know, like a huge highlight for me and something that I really applaud.
The esteemed owner of Destin Media continues to power campaigns for notable Caribbean artists and beloved diaspora events.
Current clients are Movado, Buju Banton, Sean Paul, Taurus Riley, Kabaka Pyramid, and I also do PR for Ghetto Youths International, which is the Marley label. And so, you know, that consists of quite a few artists like Joe Mercer Marley, Johan Marley, and also Hood Celebrity. So with us being able to back outside and, you know, everyone looking to just get into that environment of concerts again, one of the main ventures is Best of the Best 2021. It's an event that I've been doing the PR for about probably like 4 years now. And I'm definitely looking forward to that.
As circumstances continue to return to some semblance of normalcy, Ronnie aspires to expand her horizons.
I would like to do corporate PR, but still for the Caribbean, right? So working in, you know, with brands, but Caribbean brands to broaden them outside of just their market. So that's like the immediate goal. And then is more charitable initiatives with my artists. Right. So hopefully those are the two immediate things that's on my list.
The entertainment entrepreneur credits her Caribbean heritage as a driving force in her success, resilience, and perseverance.
Let's continue to unite and to consider ourselves as one Caribbean. We tend to have this mentality where it's like, yes, I am a Jamaican, I am from Trinidad, I am this. But at this end of the day, I think as one, as a unit, we are so much more powerful. And I just want us to start thinking like that as well. Support our artists in any way you can, whether it's a stream, whether it's purchasing of music, whether it's posting on social, whichever way you can. If you just like something that they did, let them know, you know, put that out there. That's what I would say.
To learn more about the PR services of Destin Media, visit the official website and social media pages. Trinidadian American Dr. Wayne Frederick is an educator, renowned surgeon, and the current president of the famous Howard University. Let's learn a bit about his journey, how his Caribbean heritage and upbringing has contributed to his success, and how he plans to carry on the rich legacy of the famous HBCU.
I was drawn to medicine because I grew up with sickle cell, and so I got very interested in trying to find a cure, being a physician, etc. In addition to that, my mother, who was a nurse for some 51 years, also played a significant role. She would come home from work with surgical masks and caps, and I would get to kind of interact and engage. She also became a district health visitor. and would bring people to our home for dressing changes and so on, people in the neighborhood. And she would always remark that I was always willing to look at any wound and assist her in any way, regardless of how, gorish it may have appeared at the time. And so I would say very, very early on, I developed an interest in medicine in particular.
The now president of Howard University shared that although as a student he lacked involvement in student organizations and the politics of academia, he developed a great passion for the institution.
What I did do over the course of my matriculation at Howard was fall deeply in love with the place. Just really developed a clear understanding for Howard's mission and a clear commitment, to see Howard University thrive. So I was extremely humbled by the opportunity. At the same time, I recognized the sacred obligation I had to build on Howard's legacy and to also build even a new legacy as Howard moved forward.
In addition to keeping the institution financially secure, implementing sound succession planning, and continuing to raise the bar on excellence for the university, Dr. Frederick outlined some of his goals for Howard.
Our graduation rate was some 38%. When I started, it's now about 62%. And so driving that type of academic excellence was important. Expanding the research enterprise. When I took over, we were doing about $45 to $55 million worth of research expenditures a year. That has now been almost doubled, and we're now in the 100 million plus range. And then making sure that we could secure the facilities, the infrastructure for the campus was important. And we've just announced a $785 million investment in facilities on campus, in addition to a $650 million hospital that we intend to build.
He credits his encouraging Trinbagonian upbringing as a major contributor to his success.
I say often these days that one of the most important things in the keys to success with young people is that you must instill confidence in children early on. And in spite of my sickle cell, my grandmother in particular, always felt that I would succeed at anything I put my mind to. And I think that was extremely important. Having her confidence behind me was very, very important. So I give a lot to, my Trinbagonian roots. I also think the communal type of living that I had growing up in a neighborhood where you knew everyone by name and where people were very supportive of your pursuits was also very helpful.
Dr. Frederick shared his feelings on being a recent recipient of TNT's highest honor, the Order of the Republic of Trinidad and Tobago.
Extremely humbled. I mean, I remember growing up in primary school and doing social studies and learning the names of luminaries who received those awards, and never once thinking as I read those names that I would be among that group of people. So it was extremely humbling.
He shared one final message about his alma mater and the university he now leads, which was once described by legendary Caribbean Prime Minister Eric Williams as the Black Oxford.
As a student, I was pretty quiet, focused on what I needed to do in terms of my work. I never saw myself as a 17th president or even a surgeon. And the fact that Howard not just provided me with that opportunity, but prepared me and had me walk into that role and then ultimately hold the mantle of leadership, I think is an example for what all the young people who are listening can be. Howard is a great place to bring your journey to. Howard, I think, is a great place to make sure that you get molded and groomed in the manner that you would like.
For further information on Howard University's 17th president, Dr. Wayne Frederick, please visit the website president.howard.edu or follow him on social media using the handle @HUPres17. Welcome back to Caribbean America. Switching gears to US-based Janelle Fernandez, who has utilized her Caribbean roots to propel herself to greatness in the arena of immigration law. She shares more on herself, her work, and her aspirations.
My father from I was very, very young. I remember being maybe 5, 6 years old, and he just constantly would tell me, "You're going to do law." It took a while because I'm stubborn, and I was very, "No, I'm not. I'm not doing what you told me to do." But yeah, eventually my life path just kind of led there, and he pushed until he got what he wanted, and here I am, making waves.
With a talent for writing and a passion for transactional law as opposed to litigation, Janelle was put on a path to immigration law specialization.
For a summer semester where they offer clinic options, they offer internship options, and immigration clinic was one of them. So I jumped into that because I had the immigration professor who I loved. And then when I came out of law school, you realize that the positions that we have in Miami are all litigation. Miami is very litigious. Everybody wants to sue everyone. So I've ended up finding an immigration position shortly, maybe a few months after I came out of law school. And it was something that was strictly transactional because of the fact that it was business immigration.
The Miami-based lawyer issues petitions on behalf of corporate professionals, entertainers, athletes, and models, and throughout her career has enjoyed much satisfaction through her work.
It just is an amazing feeling when you actually get an approval for a client. I've gotten approvals for clients that their case, and they came to me after their case was denied. So when you work on cases like that and they've already gotten denials and you submit the case and you make your argument and you submit the evidence and then they actually do get the approval, it's really life-changing for people. And that is the part of my job that I really love. When you get that approval and it's like, this is such great news, thank you so much, you've changed my life. And it's like, little old me.
Janelle, who was born in the US to Trinidadian and Jamaican parents, holds firm to her Caribbean heritage and encourages members of the diaspora to connect and help each other.
Very into my culture and definitely have utilized it, and I would suggest that more of the diaspora tries to utilize that. I know that there are groups from Jamaica, I know for a fact they have diaspora youth groups, and they do a lot. They do a lot, and they help the diaspora in the US, in Canada, in the UK. We're all over the place. And so connecting to each other will really help you when it comes to jobs, but not just jobs, just having, like I said, that camaraderie.
She looks forward to providing immigration options and solutions for ambitious members of the creative arts sector and general movers and shakers.
I'm very into artist visas. I'm very into working with artists. Like the Caribbean, just in general, have so many talented individuals. And I've done cases for, music producers. I've done cases for artists, and people like that are really the people that I love to work with. I also do cases for people who have higher education, meaning bachelor's, master's, and they'll come over here and either want to open a company or work for a company over here. It just depends on what you studied. But a lot of what I love to do is, like I said, working with the artists and the people who are just doing amazing things.
St. Lucian-born Sean Benjamin is a celebrity chef and entrepreneur. Let's learn a bit more about his Caribbean-American success story, which was derived from a passion for cuisine.
Sometimes life throws things at you to make the decision that is right for you. And I was comfortable in a financial setting. I lost my job, and I was at a crossroads in my life where it's kind of pivotal, where at the time I was 30, and I was thinking of ways how to improve my life or where my career is going to go. So I took a chance into the culinary industry, and I just made a commitment. And I always said to myself, that was 2010. I made a commitment to say, I'll give this a shot, see where it goes. I could fall back on finance, and just me being committed and made that commitment to myself pushed me to be where I'm at today.
With a true passion and having gained a sound foundation in the kitchen from his grandmother, Chef Sean took the leap of faith towards forging his unique brand of culinary delivery entitled New Age Caribbean Cuisine.
New Age Cuisine is actually taking more of a contemporary approach to Caribbean cuisine, which without using mainly Caribbean ingredients, as in like non-traditional, but making it more approachable, where it's more using world cuisines. And the way I say that, it's hard to explain without just giving a description of the dish. And one of the dishes that I actually discovered when I first was embarking that vision of my culinary vision as Caribbean cuisine is taking curry goat And I remember saying to myself, how would I put that in a restaurant where it could be fine dining? And I thought about doing a curry goat pasta. And that was a hit.
With signature dishes such as his curry goat pasta, Chef Sean has taken his new age Caribbean cuisine to several fine dining establishments and major culinary stages.
Caribbean cuisine for me is offering it to a wider audience, and those audiences come from the James Beard House, Food and Wine, New York, which I've done it 5 years consecutively. South Beach, haven't gone to London with it. Even gone to Food Network with it, where I've competed, where I've been true to myself in my vision, pitted against Bobby Flay with my style of cooking, where they're not just saying, okay, I'm going to do something regular, but, change it up.
After spending much of the pandemic sharing recipes and preparing gourmet dishes for a social media audience, Sean was headhunted to be a chef at a top restaurant in the Bahamas, which he turned down in order to pursue his entrepreneurial path with his latest venture, Fat Fowl, which is located at the DeKalb Market Hall in Brooklyn.
I did a tasting for the mall board. They love it. They're like, this is elevated food, comfort food with a Caribbean flair. And I actually said no to the Bahamas and pursue Fat Fowl as my own. And was a big gusty chance. I mean, I had nothing to lose. We're still in the pandemic. Things were still slowly moving, but I still took a chance to embark this, bring something new and exciting.
With Fat Fowl becoming a neighborhood staple, Chef Sean eyes expansion on his brick-and-mortar brand.
Just growing up in the Caribbean, it gives you a ground of being just a eagerness and a motivation to be successful, because you here as an immigrant and you have a staple of how you brought up with mannerisms, and sometimes that alone lets you into a door. The way you approach people, how you speak, and connecting with the community, and to see that you one of us that migrated and you're doing well. So of course that helps. And for me, I always say to this, when one person win, everybody win.
The proud yet humble St. Lucian is a true Caribbean American success story, and he shared this message with fellow dreamers and new immigrants.
Don't think of it, a dream might be 1 or 2 years. You have to work on it and perfect it. I'm still perfecting myself, so it's just take a chance and don't give up.
For further information on Chef Sean and the new age Caribbean cuisine offerings of the Fat Fowl, check them out on social media via the handles @Chef Sean and @Fat Fowl New York. Christine Horn is a Caribbean American actress with several Hollywood receipts to her name. Today on Caribbean America, she touches on her career as an actress and a life coach, and how her Caribbean heritage has positively impacted her life and her work.
Ooh, that was a great episode. Not realistic, but still good. I'm sorry, what does this have to do with me, sir?
I've always wanted to be a performer, ever since I was little. Like when you were when you're in grade school or kindergarten, and they say, what do you want to be when you grow up? And I just said, singer, actor, dancer. I just always knew. I always knew. And I would talk to myself, play with my dolls, record my own shows, write plays, poems, sing. So I just always knew it was in me.
The dynamic performer who has the moniker, the booking magnet, touched on her journey thus far as a professional actress.
The life of an entertainer is very much like an emotional roller coaster, truly. But there's been some great highs and some low lows. But I started in the theater. I started in high school actually, then did theater professionally, and then got to do film and TV and tour most of the United States with The Lion King. So it's just been amazing, like getting to live my dream is really a dream come true. So the journey's not over yet. There's still a lot more I'm working toward, but I've just make it a point to enjoy the journey and know that the journey is the destination. So there's never something that I'm hoping to get to one day. Like I'm just always getting better. I'm always growing, always taking on new roles that inspire me and excite me.
She shared on some notable career highlights.
I
did The Lion King on Broadway and both national tours. I even got to go to Germany and workshop it. I'm currently on a show called Snowfall on the FX network. I'm filming a TV show now called BMF, Black Mafia Family, for the Stars Network. But I've been in shows like The Good Doctor, Good Girls, movies like Terminator, Dark Fate, Stomp the Yard. Not to like brag, but I could go on and on. I would tell my students, I have a lot of receipts. But yeah, I'm so blessed and grateful that I get to play so many different types of characters. I joke and tell people, you've probably seen me, you just don't recognize me with the hair. But I think now I'm at that stage in my career where people are like, you're that lady you were in that thing with the person, with the man. Like, yes, the recognizable face.
Christine, who was recently featured on an episode of the NBC sitcom Kenan and is currently filming the new season of Black Mafia Family, is a constant believer in giving back and does so brilliantly through her work as a career coach for actors and via her community called Hollywood Bound Actors.
I coach. I have a community called Hollywood Bound Actors, and we have a podcast and an Instagram and Facebook. So just so it's an outlet and a resource for people to get information. And yes, I like to host conferences, sometimes virtually, sometimes live. I'm hosting one this year. So, I call myself the booking magnet. My conference is called Booking Magnet Live whenever I do it, because I want to teach other actors and newer actors how to become a booking magnet themselves. Because a booking magnet, the way I describe it, is I'm a student of law of attraction. So being a magnet, we all are drawing stuff to us, whether positive or negative. And I said, well, I'm gonna draw bookings to me because I want more bookings. So I just started calling myself a booking magnet and training people to call that to me. So now I speak life to myself and I speak life onto people and they speak it back to me.
The New York City native cites her Caribbean heritage and upbringing passed on to her by her mother as a major source of influence in her life and career.
The biggest inspiration in my life has been my mother, Valerie. My grandma, Lillian, came from Bermuda. My grandfather, Reginald, came from Jamaica. So we have that. And that's how my mother was raised in that household. And that's how I was raised. And she passed down just so many wonderful, just ethics and beliefs onto me, that made me who I am. And so she's just been always a huge source of inspiration, of strength, tenacity, drive, and she passed that on to me. And I know that is a true part of my Caribbean roots, just it's the way we think. It's just a little bit different, I think.
She further emphasized on the impact that her Caribbean heritage has had on her career and her goal to consistently represent for Caribbean culture in Hollywood.
I was raised around people who celebrated the beauty and the culture, food, all of that. We were just, I keep saying, we're beautiful people, and there's just a pride that comes with it. I'm sure many other cultures have it too, but I can only speak for mine. So that's definitely impacted me. I think representation matters, period, no matter where you're from, how you identify. And so I think the more that I show up, the more that I am a light in this industry, the more that I will naturally just shine a light on my culture and Caribbeans as a whole.
The talented and inspirational Christine offered this bit of motivation and encouragement.
I grew up in the Bronx. I'm just a Bronx girl, who's now made it to Hollywood. But I knew that there was a vision placed inside of me. And I was surrounded by people who supported me. So I would say, dream big, know that anything is possible, even if you don't know how it's going to happen. Allow yourself to dream, allow yourself to say it out loud, and then surround yourself as much as possible with supportive people. And if you don't have the supportive people right around you, search online, come listen to my podcast. I'll pour life into you all day. Anything is possible, so keep dreaming.
To learn more about Christine Horn's work as an actress and a career coach, visit her websites and social media pages using the keywords actress Christine Horn and Hollywood Bound Actors. Stephen Phillip, popularly known as DJ International Stephen, has been energizing audiences with his unique music styling and his signature event brands. The entertainment entrepreneur lets us in on his achievements, his unique initiatives, and his upcoming endeavors.
It bad like Vuv on a Friday. Anywhere we go, it's a party. Yes! When the weekend reach, we go start with a cup with ice and Henny on top.
Back in Trinidad as a kid, my dad was an old school reggae DJ. He used to play at the Cove in Chagaramas. So growing up, watching my dad and my uncle run, teach a sound system, I always had a love or liking for music from then. So, just as time progressed, my mom got me into it in America when I was bored, because she knew I always loved it. And one thing led to the next, and here I am.
International Steven has toured the world DJing in destinations such as Japan, Africa, and Dubai, and was also the official tour DJ for soca superstar Marshall Montano. He has also achieved much notable success as an event promoter and music producer.
I've been able to curate or co-found or co-find festivals like Hollywood Carnival, Ace Weekend, also been a part of brands like Ibiza Soca Festival, South Carolina Carnival, you name it. I'm around. Those are some highlights for sure, though. In terms of a producer, definitely being a part of records like Family, Caution Rhythm, Vent with Tedderson John, and my most recent Toxic Love with Patrice and Ricardo Drew. Those are definitely highlights for me as a producer.
The forward-thinking music professional has his focus set on helping soca music break through to the Grammy Award stage and understands the importance of representing for his Caribbean culture in every step of his progress.
Our culture is in us, you know what I mean? From the food that we make and we eat to the music, and you can see influences of, Caribbean and I would say stemming from Africa. You can see influences in everything today, all across the world. So it's important for us to be true to who we are. But for me, I represent my culture, my Caribbean culture to the fullest. And not just Trinidad and Tobago, but, the Caribbean. I feel like, we're unique, we're special, and we have a lot to offer to the world.
With the scope of the industry changing due to the pandemic, Steven and his team had an opportunity to restructure and launch new entertainment initiatives with more on the horizon.
Look out for some new festivals. We've launched a successful one so far, the Carnival Bubble. That's coming back. Quite a few other festivals, man. There's something called Road Call Weekend. We're launching pretty soon with a multiple road parade weekend. So that's pretty interesting. That's coming soon. Look out for the Hollywood Carnival projects. That's coming as well. Just a lot of things, man. Some new partnerships came out of COVID as well. And I'm excited about the promotion future. International
Steven, who is the founder of talent agency DSM and manages the career of Grenadian Dynamo Vaughn, shared that he will be executive producer for Skinny Fabulous's upcoming album and release new rhythms and music projects by artists such as Ricardo Drew. He also shared words of encouragement for his fellow entertainment professionals.
For all the aspiring promoters, DJs, producers, record label owners, such as myself, just continue to work. There's ups and downs in every industry, but once you know why you're doing it, and you're doing it for a good reason, and you believe in what you're doing, it'll all work out. So keep going. Keep pushing.
For the latest on DJ International Steven, check him out online and follow him on social media. Thank you for joining us for Caribbean America and for taking a look at some game-changing individuals in celebration of Caribbean American Heritage Month. I'm Damian Sogren, reminding you to stay tuned to One Caribbean Television, your one place for everything Caribbean.